if you press the R button, then you hit the throttle, it actually has reverse. That's crazy. Woo! Hey, what's going on everyone? So today we're gonna be checking out Heybike's brand new electric dirt bike. This is the Heybike Villain. It's a 52 volt electric dirt bike with 190 Newton meters of torque, 45 mile an hour rated top speed, 4,160 watt peak mid-drive motor, and it claims 0 to 10 miles an hour in 0.9 seconds. Now, I don't know how much riding we're gonna get done today because look at this. We got about a foot of snow out here, so not sure how much riding I'm gonna get done, but we're gonna get this thing put together today and show you guys everything it comes with and show you a little bit about putting it together. So thanks for watching. Follow along. I'm going to show you all the details and specs, try to get to the controller, show you the ratings and what the controller looks like, see what kind of controller this comes with. So stick around if you want to learn about this Heybike Villain. And I'm super excited, guys, because a lot of different companies are now coming out with these little electric pit bikes, and they are awesome. You guys know I already reviewed a few. I also have another one to open up, so stick around if you want to see that one as well. So right out of the box here, we've got some parts here, and look at this color, guys. The seat is yellow. That's pretty awesome. All right, we got the charger here, and it's a 52 volt 5 amp charger. It's got a nice fan on it to keep it cool, but it does not look like it is UL listed. So that would have been nice to see a UL listing or some kind of certification on here, but it is 5 amps. A lot of the other electric dirt bikes I reviewed are only 2 amp chargers. So this will charge this one up twice as fast. You got things for the handlebars and a toolkit here. It doesn't look like they give you a pouch for your tools. And it looks like you're gonna have to install the foot pegs as well. Get a nice number plate for the front, a nice front fender that seems pretty heavy duty, and a rear fender that seems fairly heavy duty as well. Got the front wheel here, and this is a 2.5 by 14 inch front wheel. Nice knobby tread on there. Got a really nice thick rotor on that front rim as well. And a little tip for you, when you cut your zip ties off, if you cut them in the right spot, you could pull that little piece out of there, and then you have a good zip tie to reuse if you need it. And my son hates that I save them all.
He has a million of them around the house.
But hey, they're free. Oh yeah, look at that. I love that yellow. Oh, and I like that the key's right here on it. That's pretty awesome. They even give you different numbers. However, they don't give you a user manual, but they give you a QR code that you can scan to download the user manual. So if you guys want to scan that, you can download the manual. Now, personally, I would have liked to have seen an actual manual. It's always good to have in person. You don't have to get online and try to find it. They give you some other stickers as well, so that's pretty cool. I just wish it had a manual. And it looks like there's some kind of coupon here, but it's kind of double imposed. You can barely even read what it wants you to do. Not sure about that. Let's get this thing out and get it put together. Gotta tell you guys though, this thing does feel heavy. All right, at this point, the first thing we did was we installed these risers for the handlebars, bolted this on, and then tightened the bolts up underneath here, and then installed the headlight. One thing I noticed that most bikes do this, they never include Loctite, and half the time there's no Loctite on a lot of the bolts. So I recommend getting a little bottle of blue Loctite. You don't want to use red because it'll be very hard to remove the bolts if you use red. Use blue. I'll put a link down below in the description to Amazon for this, but you're definitely going to want to put some Loctite on some of these bolts so they don't vibrate or get loose. They should have put a couple dabs of Loctite on them nuts from the factory. Next thing we're going to do is unloosen the strap. Be cautious unloosening that because it's definitely under some tension there. And then we're gonna get the front fender installed, the front wheel installed, and then we're gonna go ahead and mount the rear shock. All right, the fender bolts for the rear of the front fender seemed like they were in there very tight, and when I took them out, there was a little bit of aluminum stuck to the bolt here. So I cleaned them off with a tap and die set, and I re-tapped the bolt holes going up in there. And if any of you have to do this, it's an M6 1.0 tap and die bit, just so you know which one to use. And I'm just using this cheap tap and die set from Vever. I guess I'll put a link down for that as well in case you guys need it. Perfect. All right guys, so we got the bike all put together. I'm tearing it down here to show you a few things that I noticed. One, the battery is not quick swappable like most electric dirt bikes. You would have to remove this side panel, which has 5 bolts. You don't have to remove this one down here. I just removed that to show you guys the motor here. But you have to remove this panel so that you can get to the connector to disconnect it. And then you also have to disconnect this charge cable here and then take this plate off the front with these 4 bolts that holds the battery in. And then this battery will slide right out right here. So it's not like it's that hard, but there is about 9 bolts you have to take out, and then these 2 battery connectors. And then one thing I did notice too that not quite sure I'm too fond of, but there might be a pretty easy fix, is that this back wheel will probably kick up a bunch of mud, dirt, rocks, and it's gonna throw that probably up against these 2 connectors because they're in the back here. You could probably put some kind of thin film over this to kind of stop that from happening, and that would probably keep those 2 connectors dry. So that probably wouldn't be a big deal, but they should probably put something back there to protect any mud or water from getting up in there. But let's slide this out and see how heavy it is. The battery is a 26 amp hour 52 volt battery. There is no on off button or anti-spark connector. It has power to these ports at all time. There's the charge port. The battery by itself weighs 19.5 pounds. And the bike with the battery is right around just over 125 pounds, give or take. Now the controller that the Heybike Villain is using is a 52 volt fardriver NS12 controller with an 80 amp line output and a 260 volt phase amps. Now one thing cool about this bike is it has a safety kill switch here when you pull this off, so you can attach this to your kid, and if he's riding and falls off and that pulls off, it will shut the bike off. However, one thing I noticed about this one, that was not working, and I noticed this plug here was disconnected. The little tab here that is supposed to keep it connected is broken off, but once I plug that back in, that works perfect. That's a pretty cool feature. All right, guys, we got it together outside. It is freaking cold out here, but we're gonna go over a few things about this bike real quick. The seat height on this does sit up a little bit higher than some of the other ones. Looks like it's gonna be about 29 inches to the lowest part, and then obviously it's gonna swoop up here on the back around 30 inches and maybe around 30 and a half inches on the front. This is with a 5'7.5" rider. I could probably stiffen that rear suspension up a little bit, but I fit on it really good, guys. Really good. I can't wait to rip this thing around. So that's 5'7.5". This is with a 411, almost 5 foot rider, maybe 411.5. Fits him really good also. What do you think, bud?
It fits me about perfectly.
Yeah, flat footing just fine. 4'11.5". Looks like it's gonna fit him perfect. Suspension's nice too. Now this bike's rated for 4,160 watt peak coming from that mid-drive motor, powered by that 52 volt battery and that fardriver controller. It has 190 newton meters of torque, so I would assume that it would rip that front wheel right off the ground pretty easily. Few things I love about this bike right off the bat is that it's nice to be able to grab it and just whip it around. Some of the other bikes I reviewed have plastic there, so you kind of limited on where you can grab. The front and rear fenders seem really nice and sturdy on this thing. Now, granted, if you flip it over backwards, you might break it off like my son did on his Tutio, but everything looks really good on this bike. Other than the battery not being quick swappable and easy to remove, because right now it's about 17 degrees outside and I wouldn't leave my batteries out in the cold. I would want to take that out and take it inside in the heat. And it's just a little bit too many bolts to take out to do it quickly and easily, to take out and put back in real fast. So that would have been nice if they could have redesigned that connector maybe on the front of the battery and just had those 4 bolts to be able to take out and to slide the battery out. I actually think you could flip this battery upside down and put it in backwards. There's enough wiring there where you could probably connect the connectors in the front. However, I would probably put some kind of plate there or something so that the connections wouldn't get all muddy and wet from the front tire kicking stuff up. But I might mess with something like that in the future trying to figure it out. So love where the key's at, and check out this right here, guys. This is crazy. If you press the R button, then you hit the throttle, it actually has reverse. That's crazy. Woo! Pulls that front wheel right off the ground. That was in 3. Let me lower it down to 1. Yeah, 1's real nice and smooth. Full throttle on 1. Oh, that's a nice pickup. Very nice and smooth pickup in number 1. So if you have kids that are just getting used to bikes, this is very nice, especially with that tether cord there. They can tie it to them. If they fly off, it'll shut off. But 1's very nice. Let's try 2 here. I don't know if it's spun or not. I don't want to tear up my patio here. I already got a skid mark on it from Q-Range. Yeah, 2's nice too. 2 will not pull that front wheel off the ground from a start. That's nice. 1 and 2, not being able to pull the front wheel up is nice. There are 3 modes. This is mode 3. Whew, it'll pull it up. Number 3 will pull the front wheel off the ground. I'm trying not to spin tire on my patio. Let's try here one more time. Oh, yeah. Number 3 will pop it up pretty easily. But that's amazing that it has reverse. That's just crazy. I've never seen that, but that's nice if you get, you know, in a situation where you need to back the bike up, especially if you're facing downhill. That could be a pretty cool feature there. Heavy duty kickstand there, love that. Looks like a really nice bright light. Ooh, my fingers are freezing. But everything about this bike looks great, guys. Let me flip this around here real quick. The rotors on here are really nice and thick. It got a single piston in the rear and dual piston disc brake in the front. One thing I do love about this is the color of the rims. They're black. A lot of the other bikes that I have, all 3 of them actually have orange rims. I really do like the black design, and the shock looks cool as well. It does look like it's adjusted here to the softest setting, so I'm probably gonna be tightening that up a little bit for me, being a 175-pound rider. For my son, that would probably be perfect, but it does look like it's nitrogen filled here with the air fitting underneath here. There is no adjustments on the front fork, and then you do have your charge port here for charging the battery. Or if you take the battery out, you could charge it when it's out of the bike as well. But overall, guys, I gotta tell you, I really love the look and design of this bike. It's pretty sweet. It's actually really sweet looking. Oh,